What a magnificent night of football that was. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a title race on our hands. It was a sensational game of football in Scotland, and some would call it a delectable medley of footballing splendour. That it truly was. That is the first time that Celtic have won a derby since December 2019. And you know what comes with that? That is a statement from Celtic. It is a statement, historic night for that club. They go top of the league. For the first time this season, Celtic are top of the league. And what a moment that is, especially when you consider that it's taken them 26 months to beat Glasgow Rangers. It really must feel so special to those Celtic fans, so special to this Celtic team. And remember, this Celtic team are, in theory, in a transition season. But that sort of a result for Postecoglou will give him belief, and it will inspire this young team. That really was a special night. And there's only one man to talk about. Reo, eh? How many young kids are going to be born in Glasgow in 9 months' time called Reo? What a night for Hatate. A sensational performance for him. He scored two. He set one up. He is an instant midfield hero. And I tell you what, Aaron Ramsey needs to have an impact. Rangers will be desperate for him to have a similar impact, because this title race is now going to go. This is game on, and I'm going to be keeping a serious eye on this, because the Scottish Premiership is neck and neck. 1 point in it, and Celtic have managed to go top of the league. It really does feel special, but a terrible night for Glasgow Rangers. They got it so wrong. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst just got it so wrong. They were toothless up front, and when I saw the teams line up, I thought they were going to be head and shoulders above Celtic. I really did. I thought they were going to win this. I know that they were away from home. I know that there were no Rangers fans there, and it was obviously such an intense atmosphere that we will come on to in a minute. But I just expected more from them. They were shambolic at the back. They had nothing going on up front, and they have now conceded 3 goals for the second time in, 5 days? I was going to say the second time in a week, but it's not the second time in 5 days they conceded 3 goals. That is not good enough from Glasgow Rangers, and they really do need to get it right. They were so flat. They didn't press with the intensity, and we've seen in recent years when they have beaten Celtic, they have done it because they've been on the front foot. This was such a passive performance from them, and I expected so much more. But you know what? That was an enthralling game of football. If you didn't watch it, I feel sorry for you. I'm just gutted about one thing. There were no away fans in the ground. And I think that is to the detriment of the entire spectacle. I feel like the entire game is lessened because there were no away fans. I think that the Scottish game gets a really harsh press in this country, in England. I really do. I think that it's treated massively unfairly, but not on my watch. Not on this channel. If you have any slander for the Scottish League, you're barred. Take it elsewhere, because that was a sensational game of football, and that is the biggest derby in world football. That is the biggest game in world football. It's not about British football. It's about world football. That is the biggest derby in world football. And I will not allow any slander on this channel. I will not. When you think about Glasgow Rangers, Glasgow Celtic, they could end up playing each other 6 times. 4 times in a league, maybe 5, 6 times. But the beauty of this fixture is that they could play it every other week, and it would still be full of excitement and tension and desperation to win. And I love it. It's such a passionate derby. And I think football can be so sanitised sometimes. But that game, it had everything. The tifo before the game, in the ground, Celtic fans displaying, constantly displaying these banners that were crafted and orchestrated to perfection. Glasgow Rangers fans doing a display for their team on the way to the game because they couldn't be in the stadium. But I do think that the entire spectacle was slightly less rich because there were no away fans. I think, despite the fact that it was so loud, despite the fact that the atmosphere was so good, you could hear the Celtic fans even when you had your telly basically on mute. That's how loud they were. I still think it would have been better with away fans in there. Home fans are buoyed by away fans, and vice versa. And I think it's a shame that we didn't get 3,000 or 4,000 Rangers fans in there to make a cacophony of noise that the Celtic fans would then react to. And it's just a shame to me. I think that it lessens the spectacle, and the reason is just so petty. This goes right back to May 2018 when Rangers cut Celtic's Ibrox allocation of 8,000, they cut it down to 800. And off the back of that, the clubs have basically played tit for tat. And the only people that lose out here is the spectacle and the fans themselves. So I really hope that we can get some fans in the stadium again for this. Some away fans, because away fans are the epicenter of football atmosphere. So can you imagine, think about how raucous and brilliant that was. Imagine if you had 3,000 or 4,000 Rangers fans in there as well. I really hope they sort that out. But this game, like I say, it's the best game in world football. It really is the best game in world football. The best individual fixture in world football. There is nothing that compares to it. And it is so layered. And it's such a central part of life in Glasgow. And therefore, the world. The Celtic fans in America. Rangers fans in Australia. This is so entrenched in who they are. And it's born out of so much. It's born out of religion. It's born out of national identity. It's born out of geographical rivalries. It's born out of footballing rivalries. It's born out of everything. And obviously sometimes that can boil over. But I don't want to use a cliche here, but you know, when people say it's worth more than 3 points, I'll often say it when Chelsea play Tottenham, it's more than 3 points. This really is more than 3 points. So for the people who follow these teams, that was just a magical night. I'm sure Glasgow Rangers fans are feeling totally gutted, totally heartbroken with their team's abject performance. And then managerial performance on the touch, I think they got it wrong. I really do. But Celtic were magnificent. They were so up for it. And I'll tell you what, it really does say something special about Celtic. When that Reo Hatate, he scores 2, he sets 1 up, and he wasn't even their best player in the first 45 minutes. I thought it was Zach Barisic. That shows you how good they were. When a man who has to be man of the match, 2 goals and an assist, isn't man of the match, it does make you wonder quite how up for it Rangers were. So yeah, it was special. From Rangers' perspective, we don't need to be too drastic here. You know, going, I don't know what, they were 6 points ahead. They're now behind Celtic in the space of a couple of weeks. It does, on one level, feel that the title is slipping from Rangers' grasp, but that would be too dramatic. It isn't that. You know, they're a point behind. But they do need to get it right, and they need to get it right soon. And a big reason that they can get it right is Ryan Jack. Changed everything. I think he looked brilliant when he came on, and he obviously has to start. A bit disappointed with Diallo. You know, I sort of had a high hopes for him tonight. I thought he could have really delivered. But that really was a massive, massive game. And what a fixture this is. We are lucky to have a fixture of this enormity in our midst. We really do have a title race now. It's finished. Celtic 3, Glasgow Rangers 0. But that is just lighting the fuse. What a story this is going to be. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And it's been a long time since a football match, 90 minutes of football, has really inspired me the way that did. Wonderful. Truly wonderful. And everything I love about football is on display there. I think Rangers have got hearts. They need to get a win. They need to get a win in that game. So let's see how it all goes. I will certainly be keeping an eye on it. Thank you to everyone who has watched this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. It really does help me out if you would give me the honour of joining the community that we're building here. And until the next time I see you, please go easy, step lightly and stay free. I'm out. Have a lovely night. Ta-da.